Welcome back to VYPE Recruit Spotlight, episode 19. After a week off, we are back. I'd like to say I'm well rested, but does anyone ever really get rest when they're on vacation? I feel like everyone that comes back from vacation, maybe you're rested from and refreshed from just taking a week off of work, but you're not getting you're staying up maybe a little later, waking up a little earlier to get everything you can in. But the beach was fun with the family. Had a great time over in the Corpus Port A area. How about you guys? How's your last 2 weeks been? Ashton, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, man. It's been a hectic last week to say so for the tomball community, and obviously not to make it sad or depressing or anything. I just want to shout out to the Collins family. You're in our prayers, and Waylon, Carson, Bryson, grandfather, and cousin. We're praying for you and hope that you're having a great trip up there and you're watching down upon us.
Definitely a horrible tragedy out there in the Tomball community for sure. Our thoughts and prayers go out to them. Jackson, I know we're going from a little sad now, jumping over to you. I know there's some good things happening in your life, if you will, with A&M. How you doing, man?
Yeah, been a pretty busy 2 weeks with photo shoots, kicking back up and everything, but also A&M baseball making it to Omaha. I will actually be in Omaha when this goes live on Friday at noon. I will be there getting ready to watch the Ags play Oklahoma in Game 1. So very exciting weekend for me, and just an exciting week in recruiting as well.
Yeah, we tried to make it work where maybe we could have had, recorded the show where you were like, along the left field, area or whatever. Just couldn't make it work logistically, but that's okay. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna be rooting on A&M. I'll be rooting on UT. A little come from behind. If you, they basically scored. I mean, what 20 runs in the matter of 4 innings, really. They were down by five in the bottom of, oh no, five in the bottom of the seventh, and then three in the bottom of the eighth, and came back and won game two, and then of course, kind of walked away with game three. Their 38th trip to the College World Series, most of any team. I see Jackson rolling his eyes there, but hey, that's okay. A&M makes it for the first time since what 2013 or 14, I believe it is.
2018, but it's okay.
2018. Okay, there you go. They get there so rarely. It's you would think I would know when they got there, but
Oh,
no. You know what though? To be honest, I'm gonna jump in. They got a good chance. I think this is one of the more wide open kind of seasons, if you will. Stanford kind of withstanding, they might be kind of the favorite, when you look at it from a seeding perspective. But that whole left side where it's OU, Texas A&M, Notre Dame, and Texas, the kind of side of the bracket's kind of wide open, if you will. I know as a Texas fan, we're going to go as far as our bullpen takes us. I mean, that's been us. That's been make or break for us all season. I know for A&M, it's been kind of some hitting. That's kind of been where if they've ever struggled, it's been because of hitting. If I'm remember reading that correctly, so very very interesting on that side of the bracket where, it looks like, A&M has a chance to play both OU and Texas. So can't wait. Starts. I mean, I think game one will happen right after this show ends on Friday between OU and
Yep.
A&M with the 1 p.m. time slot. So can't wait for that. But we are a high school football recruiting show. So let's go ahead and get into some of that. I know we've talked about college baseball long enough here. Let's start with you, Jackson. It's been 2 weeks. What are some things you've seen across the state newsworthy that you want to break to us?
So it's been a busy past 2 weeks, so I'm just gonna jump into it real quick. Damian Sanford, linebacker from Peyto, class of 2023, has picked up quite a few offers, but now has been picking up some big time offers with camp season started. He's picked up Texas, A&M, and Alabama in the past 2 weeks. Those are three big time offers for him, especially being in Alabama yesterday or 2 days ago to pick up that Alabama offer. So that's big time for him. I expect him to keep on this rise in recruitment as the next couple of weeks go on and going into his senior year. Then we have his teammate and his co-star at linebacker, Alex Kilgore, commits to SMU. Was a little bit shocking to me. I was not expecting him to commit so early, but that's a big-time get for SMU, getting the co-defensive MVP of the state championship game. I expect Kilgore to have a great senior year, and he'll do great things for the Mustangs. In other news, I got Mabry Matoyer, quarterback from the Woodlands, class of 2024, picks up an offer from Ole Miss and just picked up an offer from Wisconsin about 30 minutes before we started recording this. Two big offers for Mabry, as his recruitment has kind of seen a little quiet time lately, but now it's picking back up with camp season started, and I expect Mabry's recruitment to keep getting hot as we get towards his big junior year. We also have DJ Lagway visited Clemson, Georgia, and A&M. Lagway has been making his stops pretty much everywhere around the country. Just went to A&M yesterday. Was able to talk to him a little bit about that visit. He loved getting to see Coach Fisher and talk to the staff more, and also got to bring a couple teammates with him, which is always fun. The last thing I have is we got Keaton Quebec, Austin Westlake wide receiver, three-time state champ. Commits to Kansas, and this is a big get for Kansas as the past 2 weeks they've picked up 4 commitments from the Houston and Austin area. So I expect Keaton to have a great senior year, but also watch out for Kansas. They're recruiting pretty well in Texas right now.
And on the Mabry front, I mean, he's got so many offers as it is, so there's going to be that lull in the amount you're going to get. You might not get the Harrison Pilot level of offers, but 30 something. I don't know what he's at now, but high enough where, hey, it's okay that there's a little lull. He's gonna get to go to the college he really wants to. I imagine. One I'll mention here, and I'll jump it over to you, Ashton. And heck, this might even be something you were going to mention, but Ashton Porter commits to Northwestern, the Cy Ranch 4-star. He was down to, I believe, 5 schools, and this one could be seen as a little bit of a surprise. I know he does have a friend, that is on the Northwestern team. I forget his name at the top of my head. I saw that somewhere, and I don't know if that really was swayed his decision, but I don't know, Ashton, you were covering that a little bit. Do you have anything you want to add to his decision to commit to Northwestern?
Yeah, to kind of build off of that, as I mentioned in the last episode before we went on break, Ashton Porter did announce that he was going to be committing on June 11th, this past Saturday, which is also his birthday. I mean, we all know Porter had accumulated well over 30 offers, but like you said, he ended up choosing Northwestern. And actually, my old co-host and y'all's old co-host as well, Will and I were able to catch a moment and speak with Ashton after. And what he told us is, despite having some of the biggest offers there are, Northwestern did give Porter everything that he could ask for in calling a new place home for the next 3 to maybe 4 years. For him, those were academics and family. Porter will be joined along his actually his cousin, like you mentioned, Justin Cryer, who's also a 3-star, who committed to the Wildcats last month.
There you go. And heck, maybe some of the heat or lack thereof at Northwestern had something to do with it. Jackson, anything you want to add about that Ashton Porter situation? Not situation.
Well,
It's
I
not.
think
Hold on. It's not. I don't. I'm sorry. It's not a situation. It's a commitment, right? It's not like it's something bad. So I want to get that out of the way right now. So Jackson, go ahead. Sorry, man.
definitely, I'm gonna go off something you said, Josh, and it's Northwestern's coming down to Texas, and actually, this isn't the first. These aren't going to be the only two guys that I believe Northwestern are going to get. They're recruiting a lot of guys, especially in the Houston area, very heavily. And while it might come to a shock to most people that Porter decided to go to Northwestern, I mean, one, his cousin's going, but also there's other people in this area that are really, really thinking about Northwestern. So don't be shocked if you see a couple more commitments from the Houston area, but Northwestern has definitely made their footprint, especially getting a guy like Ashton Porter to commit to them.
Yeah, I feel like them and Michigan State have really tried to kind of embed themselves into the Texas high school football world. It seems to be working so far. Ashton, I'll turn it back over to you. I know we talked about Ashton Porter, but do you have any other news that you would like to talk about before we move on?
So actually, staying at Cy Ranch, wide receiver and also one of Porter's best friends, 3-star Jared Sample, made his commitment to Coach Leopold over at the University of Kansas immediately following his official visit this past weekend. And exactly like Jackson said, I mean, do not count Kansas out. They're recruiting really heavily, and like you said, I think they've got 4 or 5 just commitments in the last week or so. So they've been recruiting heavy down in Texas.
All right, and lastly, I'll have to mention it. I mean, it's my school. Texas has a big weekend ahead of them as far as official visits. Of course, the biggest one being Arch Manning. He's making his official visit this weekend, along with his teammate Will Randall. A couple of others of note is South of Cliffs Malik Muhammad. Of course, Temple's Mikhail Harrison Pilot, and others going to be there this weekend. So huge weekend ahead for University of Texas to try and draw some of these top talents into the fold for the class of 2023. That being said, if nobody has anything, if you do, raise your hand so I can see you. If not, we will move on to our interview this week. I'm not seeing anybody. Perfect. Well, that being said, it is time for our interview this week. And this week, Jackson is taking the reins for this interview. So that being said, let's jump to Jackson and his interview of the week right now.
Thanks, guys. Now we're going to go to our interview here with class of 2025, Atascocita running back Tory Blaylock. Tory, what's going on, man?
Man, everything's going pretty good. I just been on the road. It's been going pretty good for me, though.
Yeah, man. I mean, the first time we met, we were in zone 7-on-7. You had just picked up UTSA and Texas Tech offers. Then I saw you again at the underclassmen report camp. You ran a 4.4, picked up Oregon shortly after that. And then now in the past 2 weeks, man, you've picked up A&M, Tennessee, Texas, to name a few. What's it been like so far as you've kind of been going through this camp circuit and your recruitment's really picked up here after the fall season ended?
It's been very fun, like, to see new coaches, meet new people. Like, the way that they, like, treat me really is, like, make me feel special at a lot of places. The camp is also, I like all the camps, really. I can really camp all summer. It's really fun, but I got one more at Ohio State, and then I'll be done with camps for the summer.
Yeah, man, let's talk about kind of some of these offers you've gotten. I mean, when we talked earlier, you had the 2 offers alone. Now you've got some big-time offers in Penn State, A&M, Tennessee, Texas, Oregon. What's that like for you knowing, okay, now you have offers from basically once you get that ACC offer, you have every Power 5 conference covered. What's it been like for you getting all these offers?
Man, it's blessings, really, straight from God, but it's really exciting to know that all the hard work I've been putting in is showing. And I just it makes me want to go hard this season. Like, I don't want to I want to have a really big season so they can really see that they offer somebody that's going to help them.
Yeah, I mean, last year you were basically, you got to see some playing time on varsity. As we've discussed before, maybe not as many carries, but you got out in the field, you were able to play. Next year you'll be seen as one of the highlighted backs on that Atascocita offense. What are your goals for next season, going into your sophomore year? Already getting a year under your belt, varsity football, with the experience?
Yes, sir. So with the experience and then with the scheme we have, I'm looking to rush for around 1,500 and around like 15 to 20 touchdowns. So like a really big season, a breakout season for me. That's what I'm looking forward to doing.
Yeah, man, and I mean, y'all's offensive line is definitely going to be a big part of that. Obviously, when you got that A&M offer, we saw a former Atascocita offensive lineman, Cam Dewberry, comment on it. What was it like learning from a guy like Cam and watching Cam kind of go through the recruiting process, that maybe he taught you some things along the way, or maybe just watching him, how he went through the process helped you in any way?
It really just like, it gave me hope, to be honest, like seeing all these offers he was getting. Like he was like really, he had like, he can go wherever he wanted. So it was like, if I work hard enough, I can be in that position, like whenever I want to be, if I put in the work.
Yeah, man. I mean, we can see now, Cam's doing his thing at A&M, and now you're gonna get to do your thing pretty much anywhere you want. Let's go back to this or last season. Y'all lose to North Shore in the regional final, district rival. Now this year, y'all are gonna get to kind of come out there and try to prove or get a little revenge tour on them, so to speak. What are your games that you have circled maybe on the schedule for this year, or what are the goals for this season as a team?
All right, so for sure, game circle, we got what I know. Katy week 2 is definitely a big one. And then there's some school from Vegas that's supposed to be really good, so that's for sure. And then North Shore, and that's who that's who circled it in.
Yeah, man.
Of course, as a team, we want to push past the 4th round and then look to go to state really for the first time. Yeah, so that's of course the goal.
Yeah, man, I feel like you and Zion Brown are going to be the dynamic duo next year. A lot of people are going to be looking forward to that offensive power that y'all are going to have next year. What are some things that you're going to be working on in the offseason to up your game next fall?
I'm going to be working on a lot of explosion, especially like with my hands, so I can like be better blockers. Like it's more than just running at running back. You got to be able to block, catch. So I'm gonna be working on I know I can run the ball, but I need to be working on some of the other things. Like I can catch, but like work on my routes, work on blocking, hand placement, all the little stuff.
Yeah, man, I think those are important things as a running back now. You also see, even in college, NFL level, you'll see running backs have to block more, and also you see them coming out of the backfield as receivers. Obviously, you playing 7-on-7, you've got great hands, great ball skills. What's it been like being able to use 7-on-7 to translate your passing attack into your game for next fall?
That's really what that's why I started playing really. So I can like, because sometimes I'm gonna have to line up in the slot. We have like a position you play running back and slot. So I got to be ready to be able to line up in the slot, run routes out of there. And then 7-on-7 would just make me more comfortable for like a real game situation where I have to run routes and catch the ball.
Yeah, man. Obviously, running backs are becoming more versatile now, and you're definitely one of the more versatile backs in the class of 2025. Let's talk about now just a couple more questions, and one of the ones I have are so NIL has become such a big thing in college football now, and a lot of athletes have that one brand or that one restaurant, whatever it may be, that they want to represent once they get to the college level. What is one NIL deal that if you could get it, that's the one you want?
Ooh. I would say like some with the gang wise, but I gotta go with my favorite. I like Mike and Ice, man. That's if I can get that, that's my favorite. Can I eat that like after every workout? Or like whenever I like want a snack or something, that's what I'll go get. So that would be big.
That's actually the first one we've gotten that was a food one. Normally we get Nike or Adidas, but Mike and Ike's, I mean, Mike and Ike's better jump on it real quick. So obviously goal next year is win state, make it past the 4th round. You have your own personal goals. But as you go through the next 3 years here at Atascocita, what's the legacy you want to leave at Atascocita?
We of course have our board with the rushing leaders. We have rushing and then rushing touchdowns. So I want my name to be under both of those before I leave here. And it's a really big chance because I'm the first running back to actually play varsity. So I'm already a little ahead. And I feel like if I just reach my goals each year, then I should definitely be able to reach the main goal is have my name on that career board.
All right, everyone. This has been my interview with Atascocita class of 2025 running back Tory Blaylock, one of the top running backs in the state. Tory, good luck to you next season. We're looking forward to watching you play, and we'll see y'all at the games.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Thanks again, Jackson, for that interview. We now jump to our last official segment of the show. That is our Under the Radar segment, where we take a look at athletes we consider under the radar for one reason or another, whether they're a top name that doesn't have very many offers or as much offers as we think they should, or someone that's kind of not getting the offers that we think they should. Maybe not a top star, maybe they're like a 3-star or something like that, or less, and then we feel like they should be getting some more offers. So that being said, let's jump to Ashton this week. Ashton, who is your under the radar for this week?
So for this week, my under the radar recruit of the week is Carter Jenkins, a Klein Forest safety. Carter is a rising junior who has already received 2 offers, his first from Ole Miss about a month ago, which Jackson was actually able to catch on film, and his second from Boston College the following day. Physically, Jenkins has the upper hand on most, standing at 6 feet tall and weighing in at 205 pounds. But he has also impressed many with his speed. And for example, last night at HBU's camp, he ran a 4.49 40 time. This has also helped Jenkins accumulate 50-plus tackles on the season, as well as multiple pass deflections. Recently, Jenkins visited Northwestern, but tells me that along with Northwestern, Boston, Baylor, UT, and many have been in contact with him at the time. With Klein Forest slowly beginning to make a name for themselves, I expect Carter to be at the forefront of this loaded Klein Forest team.
Yeah, that's right. Jackson was there for that very special moment for him, and just being able to capture on camera. So right place, right time there, Jackson. Speaking of Jackson, we're going to jump to you right now for your Under the Radar.
So my under the radar athlete this week is Alan Mccarter, class of 2024 offensive lineman from Manville High School. He's a 6'4", 260-pound tackle, big physical guy I got to see at the BME Big Man Camp. Won a lot of his battles in 1v1s and just has great footwork and a great frame. He's a guy I can see start to pick up offers during the middle of his junior year, late junior year, but then be one of these offensive linemen that we've seen kind of the past 2 or 3 years just kind of explode on the scene. He's definitely a guy that fits that. He just was at a camp for Texas Tech, showed his talents off there. As you can see in the highlights, he's just a big physical mauler on the edge who also has great footwork and pass block situations. I expect Allen to start picking up some offers pretty soon here, and don't be shocked if he's a guy that starts to blow up really late in his junior year, early senior year.
My under the radar for this week, going to stay in Houston, Dobie High School running back Renard Hall Jr. He was first team all district last year. You look at some of the stats and you think, okay, well, that's not a lot. But, when you really break down the tape, you can see why I think this guy is under the radar. So last year, 732 all-purpose yards, 74 carries, 10 yards per cat, 67 yards per game, 10 touchdowns. What really stood out to me is just his physicality. He isn't afraid to go right up the hole, and when he goes up the hole, he's not getting stuff behind the line of scrimmage. He's getting plenty of yards after contact. He can also cut it out when needed, and really just have that explosive speed needed to cut back. He's got good eyes, good vision. So if his first hole, his first read, if it closes quick, he's able to cut and find the next hole available. Very good that way. And it's very hard to bring down. Watching these clips here, you've probably noticed that he's not getting brought down on the first hit. It's taken 2, 3, 4 or more hits to finally bring this man down. So, my under the radar for this week, Renard Hall Jr., Dobie High School, class of 2023. Be sure to check him out. I think he's going to be a good get for some college out there. With that being said, as always, if you are someone that wants to be featured on the show, or if you know someone that should be featured on this show, and especially this segment, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the DMs. Send us an email. We will cover your athlete, or we will cover you. That's a show for today, guys. After a little 1 week break, not too bad. Let's shake off the rust, and we're back at it. Let's close off the show like we always do with some shout outs. Jackson, who are you shouting out this week?
Well, since it's Father's Day this weekend, I'm going to shout out my dad. Happy Father's Day, Dad. Thanks for everything you've done for me and my brothers. Also, shout out to my parents. It's also their anniversary this weekend, and we will be in Omaha spending it as a family. So shout out to them. Shout out to my dad. And shout out to Aggie Baseball, showing all the haters wrong, and we'll see what happens this weekend in Omaha.
Ashton, who are you shouting out, my man?
So I kind of want to pick up and obviously shout my dad out as well. Happy Father's Day to him. And also, I just want to, and obviously we started off on a sad note and kind of ended off on a good note. I really want to shout out the tomball community with everything that's been happening. It's amazing to see us be able to come together as a community and not only support the family of the fallen, but also together and each other. Obviously, Tomball is not the biggest town, but it really shows that we have a huge heart when stuff like this happens. And it's really amazing to be able to see all of us come together in times like this.
And I will also shout out my dad. Happy Father's Day to Lewis. Also my brother. He's a dad as well. So happy Father's Day to my brother Jacob. And just shout out to you guys jumping back in after a week off and having a great show. Episode 19 is now in the books. So looking forward to another great show next week. As always, we are here almost every Friday. I don't want to say every Friday because, of course, we were off last week. So we are here Fridays at noon when we are all here, or at least I'm here because I got to, edit all this stuff. So until next Friday, I'm Wack. That's Jackson and Ashton, and we'll see you at the games.